Hello, welcome back to Slowpoke Divas TV. I'm your host, Bonnie Parrish Kell, and as many of you know, I love the sport of race walk. And one of my highlights of the year is coming up this week at the Huntsman World Senior Games in St. George, Utah, which is in southwestern Utah, about 2.5 hours northeast of Las Vegas. And they will be having 3 days worth of race walk and power walk and an elite division of power walking for those of us active adults ages 50 and better. Now, many of the people who participate at the Huntsman World Senior Games are pretty fast. But then you have me, who I do it for fun, fitness, and fellowship, because one of the things I'm really excited about is seeing a lot of my colleagues and friends and acquaintances whom, in some cases, this is the only time of year we actually see each other in real life. So, but before I actually dive into the starting lineup for the women's races, I just want to bring those of you who may be new to either my channel or to this thing called Senior Games. I want to kind of bring that up, get you up to speed about that. What the Senior Games are about, they are multi-events that welcome active adults ages 50 and better to compete in. Many of these organizations, Senior Games organizations in pretty much every state in the country, offer events ranging from archery to volleyball, depending on the size and also the time of year. Some senior games also offer winter events, such as skiing, Nordic cross country, things like that. The National Senior Games Association produces basically a championship event every 2 years by a different host city. Next year, it will be held in Des Moines, Iowa. Last year, it was in Pittsburgh. Prior years, Fort Lauderdale, Albuquerque, my favorite, and that was the first one I had been to. So in order to be able to participate at the National Senior Games, it depends upon which sport you're participating in. For race walk, you have to qualify. And that is what this year is all about. The even years are for qualification. So many of us are looking to qualify in the sport of race walk for next year in either the 1,500 meters or the 5K races. Power walking, the sport of power walking, is what is considered an open sport, which means that it's a case of sign up and show up. So for those of us looking to qualify for the National Senior Games, we have to find a state qualifying event, which is what Huntsman is all about, or they're also known as World Senior Games, offers. Now for the sport of race walk, you have to place in the top 4 of within your age group in either the 1,500 or the 5K, because you can participate in either one at the national level. However, with the Huntsman World Senior Games, they do offer ribbons for 4th through 8th place. So it's really nice to be able to have that type of not just recognition, but that memento of, the achievement that you did, because after all, you've done some sort of training besides that. As I said once before, that, you sign up and you showed up. So, you just keep going. But with the Huntsman World Senior Games, they have more than 10,000 athletes who will show up each year. So it's almost like you're having your own senior world championship every year, because the National Senior Games also attracts 10 or 11,000 athletes each year. And so this is a great way to see what that national level is all about. But you get to experience it every year, especially if you're not able to, travel from a long distance, especially like us here more on the West Coast, to travel over to the East Coast because of logistics. Often logistics, just plane fare, trying to figure out how to fly from one spot to another. I digress on that. So with the National Senior Games, they are still in preparation for next year's races. They don't have the venue yet. The dates have been set. So unfortunately, this will be the last year for Race Walk. It's being discontinued after next year, along with a couple other sports. But some new events are coming along, like powerlifting, Tai Chi, and a few others that will be interesting to give us a new opportunities for continuing fitness and things like that. So anyway, let's get into the starting roster, because we have a total of 26 entrants who will be competing in either the 1500 or 5K or both races or all the races. Because as I may have already mentioned, there's also a 3,000 meter race that kicks off the 3 days of racing. But because of the fact that Nationals doesn't offer that distance, and many of these same women will be doing the 3,000, I'm not going to do much repeating of things, because I seem to do that on my own anyway. So let's dive into our starting roster. We're going to take a look at the 1500 meter race first, because we have the most people in the 1500, and as I mentioned before, many of them will be doing the 5K as well. So we're going to start off with the 1500. In the age group of 50 to 54, we have 4 new gals in this particular age group, probably because many of them had just turned into 50, and this may be their first time at Huntsman. Now we do have a Lynette Best Gray, who had competed in Florida in 2022 at the National Senior Games, and which she had placed second out of 4 competitors with a time of 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, to give you an idea, I do 1500 meters, which is just shy of 1 mile, in 16 minutes and something. So I share my slow time with you to give you an idea of how fit and fast some of these women are. But just because you might have a slow time in your age group, doesn't mean you cannot participate, because this might give you some motivation to train and to improve and maybe beat someone else's time, because it's all about what kind of encouragement we can find to get our fitness improved. Okay, moving on to age group 55. Now, let's back up. Because of the fact I don't have any times, or could not find race times for Sophia Waith or Amy Sibes, Ava Wheeler Saigago. I am sorry if I am butchering people's names. I hate doing that. But like I may mention before, I don't know these women, so I don't know exactly how to pronounce their name. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed that I just don't pronounce things as well as I used to. But anyway, because of the fact that I'm not familiar with these women, for me to say who I think is has the best chance of taking gold, I don't know. But with Lynette's time of 10 minutes and 20 seconds, I would say she's going to be in the running for that top spot. Okay, so in the age group of 55 to 59, we have two ladies, Suzanne Murray and also Susan Gina Cow. She is the lady in the light blue on the left in this photo. This photo is from a couple years ago, in which case she had finished in 2022 there at the Huntsman World Senior Games with a time of 11 minutes and 32 seconds. She tied for second place with Elizabeth Shepard, who is shown on the right. However, Elizabeth got third because even though the time was the same, Susan was like a nose ahead of Elizabeth at the finish line. I would say, because of the fact I don't know who Suzanne Murray is, nor could I find a time for her, I'm going to pick Susan to take gold in his age group. So we'll see. Now, Elizabeth has now entered the age group of 60 to 64, where she will be competing with Martha McCarter yet again in this particular age group for the 1500 meter. Now, Martha has won her age group before, and she is going to be duking it out with Laura Drelios from New Mexico. Laura has been a past competitor at the National Senior Games level. I first met her in Albuquerque, where her time in this distance was 8 minutes 34 seconds. She then returned in Florida in 2022 at Fort Lauderdale, where she placed second with a time of 8 minutes and 51 seconds. Now, this year at the New Mexico Senior Olympics, in this age group, she got it done in 9 minutes and 31 seconds, and she was the fastest overall, including the men. So this is probably the most competitive age group, because in this mix is also Shay Darian right here. Right there in, let's see, right there. This photo was taken from, at the National Senior Games in 2019 in Albuquerque, where her finishing time in this age group was 8 minutes and 31 seconds, 0.15 actually, where she actually set a National Senior Games record. So considering how fast Shay normally is, she and Laura, I believe, are going to be duking it out. Martha McCarter is going to be in the hunt to see if she can do an upset. Now, let's see. Dorit Atitis out of New Jersey. She has been, if memory serves me, because I forgot to write down the note, she could be a threat to at least the top 4 placements, because she too has had quite a bit of experience in running. Now, one thing about Elizabeth, let's go back to Elizabeth. This will be her only event, because when she's not racing, She is a USA track and field official. She is helping to run this whole thing. So I think that's actually more of an endurance sport because there will be so many events, especially on for the race walk, the 1500 meter race walk. There will be, quote, 2 heats, meaning that the next age group, which I'm in, the 65 to 69, and more senior divas, we will be racing the first race. So we will start first, followed by the younger women in race walk, and then the men will do theirs, and then power walk, and then the division 1 power walk, and that I believe there's even more heats within all of those. So it's pretty much a full day racing on that day. But let's get back to my age group, 65 to 69. This too is a highly competitive age group, though I'm going to be, my bet is that I will be last overall. And I'm okay with that because everyone who finishes ahead of me motivates me to keep going in this thing. So let's see. So the next group will include Marianne Daniel. She is the one on the right. She was competing against Laura a couple years ago, where they were neck and neck all the way around. My guess is that Marianne Daniel will be the overall champion. And that is because she has she had a time last year at Huntsman of 8 minutes 56 seconds. And she was second to the national Canadian champion. So she is always up there. She too is a USA track and field official. So when she's not racing, she's officiating and helping run the USA track and field side of things. The next gal who will be chasing Marianne, in my opinion, will be Karen Stoyanowski, because her time last year was 9 minutes and 33 seconds. We also have a Marsha Rasmussen out of California. She appears to be new to the World Senior Games. So she could upset the apple cart in this. But like I said, my money is on Marianne, and with Karen to take second. I will be fourth. And with that placement, that means I will qualify for the National Senior Games, which is what I am going for. Now we go to the age group of 70 to 74. And here we have Suzanne Sharp. She is from British Columbia in Canada. She recently did the Nevada Senior Games in this distance with, why didn't I write that down? Oh yes, it's over here. I have it. She did this distance in 10 minutes and 38 seconds. So she is going to be the one to beat. But we also have Carol Wilkinson, who has competed on the international level with with one of the walkers in the age group up, 75 to 79, Kathy Frabel. So we also have a Meg Dennis, and we also have Ainsley Lovell out of Barbados, and she has a very respectable time of 12 minutes and 2 seconds from last year. It's my money will be on Suzanne because I saw her in action. I've seen her in action before. And Carol, she'll challenge it. Back in 2022, her finish time was 10 minutes and 27 seconds. So Suzanne was at 10:37 this past week, or 10:38. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be between Carol and Suzanne. That's my guess. That's my bet. Now let's go into age group 75 to 79. This is another competitive age group. I mean, it's all competitive. But Kathy Frabel, a local of St. George, she has competed on the international level along with her husband Norm. Last year, she did this distance in 11 minutes and 7 seconds. Sherry Gadd, last year in Pittsburgh, she did this distance in 10 minutes and 52 seconds. So comparing that to Kathy's time last year of 11:07, you can see it's going to be a competitive race. Because there's only seconds, 10 seconds-ish between the two. So it depends on who's going to have fresher legs and like that. Then we also have Ann Isham, who finished third last year in this age group at 11 minutes 16 seconds. So you can see exactly how close they are in time and in the age of 75 to 79. If that doesn't help motivate you and inspire you to keep moving, I don't know what is. But they're not the last ones. Or as I like to say, the last divas who are racing. We have two women in the women to 80 to 84. We have Carol Dyer, who competed in this event, took first place back in 2022 with a time of 11 minutes and 9 seconds. Last year, in this same distance, Louise Walters, let me pull her picture up. Louise Walters here finished the distance in 12 minutes and 25 seconds. So it's going to depend on whose training went better, and women who are going to be doing the 5K as well. There are a couple who I'm not doing the 5K because I'm doing the 5K road race on Monday, and I need to save my legs for that, though I'll be fitness walking that one, or what I call speed walking. I try to reserve the term power walking to the sport just for clarity here on Slowpoke Divas TV. But basically, all the women I had made mention, they are going to be in the running for top medals as well in the 5K. Carol Dyer will definitely get gold by just crossing the finish line, because Louise is not doing that particular distance. Carol's the only one in the 80 to 84 age group. Kathy Frabel and Sherry Gadd will be going head-to-head for top honors in the 70 to 79 age group. We have Debbie Hutton, who is new to the 5K race walk. She's not entered in the 1500. She'll be going up against Suzanne Sharp and Carol Wilkinson. The question will be is if she's done any other track and field events. So how fresh will her legs be? And then in my age group, the 65 to 69, we still have Marsha Rasmussen, Marianne Daniel, and Karen Stoyansky competing for the top 3 places on that one. But there again, the 60 to 64, this is where we have Denise Heinen. Will be a new race for her. Martha McCarter Dorit Atitis, Laura Draelius, along with Shay Darian. That is going to be pretty interesting because in 2019, Shay did the 5K in 31 minutes. I don't have any other current times for her for this distance, but this year Laura did the distance at the New Mexico Senior Games in a time of 33 minutes and 19 seconds. There again, I think it's really going to come down to between Shay and Laura, but Martha McCarter is going to be in the hunt because I know she is hungry for a gold medal. She's very competitive, and she gives it 100% all the time. But yet, Denise and Dorit, they may be those dark horses that could upset the whole thing. And then in the 55 to 59, Suzanne Murray and Susan Giannaco will face off against each other. And then in the baby seniors, as we call them, in the age group of 50 to 54, we have Amy Ayoit, and again, Amy Sabis will be going head-to-head. So that is a look at the starting lineup. Got a little video here of without the audio. Marianne McDowell just went by. Here comes Laura. And then we have Ainsley from Barbados. I just forgot her name. There goes Kathy Frabel. And then we have Karen Stojowski. Martina, she's not racing this year. And then coming up, we have Martha McCarta in the lead. And you can see how unique everyone's form is, even though they are still following racewalk form with that straightforward leg. And then here comes Elizabeth Shepard. So that gives you an idea of what will be happening in St. George, Utah this coming week in the world of racewalk. Stay tuned and do like and subscribe to my channel because I will be having a race recap coming up in the days after the competitions. Feel free to follow me follow Slowpoke Divas over on Facebook. I'm hoping to do a live or two from doing racewalk and whatever else I might stumble upon as I am in St. George. Until next time, I hope you stay moving. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like it and if you like to have more of this kind of content. Until next time, stay moving.